up? This is Tajai of the mighty Souls of Mischief crew.
Yeah, what's up? This is Tajai from the Hieroglyphics crew, Souls of Mischief posse in effect right now. I'm cooling out on Spliff Breaks with Pud's brand. Burn it!
This is how we chill from 93 till. This is how we chill from 93 till. This is how we chill from 93 till. This is how we
Hip hop posture. You gotta improve
what's
the
up?
posture.
It's John Zee from SpliffBreaks.com. Follow us on Twitter at SpliffBreaks. And this interview is in collaboration with PudsBrand.com, who's behind the lens, contributing support for Cariboo, Brewing, Venue Nightclub, and Emotionz.ca. I'm chilling here with my man, Tajai.
What's going down?
How you doing, brother?
Chilling.
Pretty good. Souls of Mischief crew, you're back in Vancouver.
The posse.
Happy to be back in the beautiful West Coast, or what?
Hell yeah, man. Finally home.
That's awesome. Did you have any idea, this is the 20th year anniversary tour. You're 20 years, it's long, crazy road, I'm sure. Did you have any idea in 1993 that you would be relevant to almost literal infinity? Like, you make a song as kids called 93 Till Infinity, and yet here we are in 2013, you know, still talking about Souls of Mischief. That song still hits as hard as it did back then, you know?
No idea, dude. I was 18, so I wasn't even thinking about being 20, let alone older. You know, like 20 years later.
That is some manifest destiny shit, though, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's good. We named it properly, you know, and it's cool because I think for a little while we were worried that it had the year in the name, but now that era represents a whole like style and gestalt for hip hop. So it's kind of cool that it is sort of marked by the year 93. But no idea. Like when you're 18, like I was just trying to be able to drink legally and shit. You know?
Yeah. 20 years later, I mean, are you happy with how hip-hop as an art form culture has progressed to the days when you first started rocking a mic?
You know what? I'm now realizing that it's cyclical. So we're at a high cycle, I say, as far as lyrics and consciousness. Maybe on the back end of consciousness and more just lyrical dexterity. And it goes in and out, and I'm saying it's back end now. Like you look at TDE, or you look at Beast Coast, or you look at Black Opera, guys like that. Lyrics are obviously back in vogue, so, you know.
Hip-hop's in a good place.
Yeah, it's in a good place. I think that the mainstream stuff, mainstream is always mainstream, so if EDM is the mainstream thing, there's gonna be whack EDM.
Yeah.
That's in the mainstream, but there's still also the underground stuff. If it's gonna be R&B, there's gonna be whack R&B, and then there's gonna be good R&B, or soul, or rock and roll. Hip hop, I guess, for a little while was in kind of a hairband phase, but I think we're getting out of that now.
Now, of course, as many people know, Souls of Mischief are part of a bigger collective of MCs called the Hieroglyphics crew. You know, member-wise, besides member-wise, what separates Souls of Mischief from the Hiero crew?
We're like Hiero Black Ops, man, special ops. So basically they send us in first to clear a path, and then Hiero comes through and sets up the kingdom. Nah, really, like, we're a group within a group. So it's a trip. I mean, we're more than half a Hiero. There's 7 rappers in Hiero. We're 4 of those 7 rappers.
Yeah.
So it's almost like having a voter block inside of a larger country. So sometimes they'd be like, oh, you're doing that Souls of Mischief shit, you know?
Yeah.
But usually it's just, there's 7 rappers, there's Domino and there's DJ Tajai, and we sort of hash stuff out together. But we do move as a unit. I say we are, I mean, we really are like Hiero special ops, you know what I'm saying though?
Is the music that Souls of Mischief creates any different from, like, say, the Hieroglyphics music? I mean, like,
hell yeah.
Obviously I understand that, but like, how so is it?
Well, Souls of Mischief operate as one being, kind of like we're a band. So it'd be like if a guy was at the bass, keys, drums, and guitar. Like, so we operate like that when we make songs.
Right.
And so when you do a Hiero song, it's like you got a guest on the keys, or you got a horn set or something like that. So it's just a different sound like that. You know, like, but Souls of Mischief operates like a band, like we're like a group.
Yes.
Whereas Hiero, it's hard for Dale, Casual, and Pep, who are solo artists, sometimes to get with the group sort of concept, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Not because they're against it, just because it's a different format. They're used to making whole songs by themselves, chorus and everything, you know?
Speaking of hieroglyphics, in, like, say, a literal sense, have you ever been to Egypt and seen hieroglyphics inside of a pyramid?
Yes, I have, and I'm gonna tell you some real shitty, can I curse? I'm sorry.
Absolutely, do you think?
Some real shitty shit. The Sphinx is looking at a fucking Pizza Hut and a KFC. That was the saddest shit I saw in the entire country, Egypt, until recently. Whatever's going on over there, that sucks. Chill out. It's beautiful. It's the cradle of a lot of civilization and concepts. And I think that this sort of power struggle that's going on all over the world. I mean, you see what's going on in Syria. They're dropping chemical weapons, which is just a whole new chapter in terror. Like, we got to chill, man. We've been here as beings for tens of thousands of years. Why is it that we have all this smarts, know-how, and technology, and we can't fucking get along? And it's the other thing I'd say about the pyramids. They're huge. Like, the bricks are like the size of buses, not vans, like buses. Like, huge.
Were you there?
But they're empty.
Or after the Arab Spring?
I was there in 2000.
Okay, so
2005.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, it's like Arab winter. No,
Who designed the Hieroglyphics logo?
Dell.
Dell designed the Hieroglyphics logo?
We used to be called the Mad Circle, so we were a mad face, and then Dub C and them took that, so we just made the third eye face. And if you look at Sleeping on My Couch, the first video, the Hiero symbol has a nose.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
It has a nose.
It has a nose.
It's just like the Sphinx that got knocked up.
Yeah, that's a trip. Egypt, man, is a trip because the pyramids are really empty. Like, all the stuff from in the pyramids, they say it's to protect them from looters. They've been looted, and they're in France and England. You know, it's a trip.
Yeah, word.
It's kind of sad.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but Tajai, you have ventures outside of musical ventures. Like,
Yeah.
You're into architecture and real estate, is that right?
Yeah, and how they intersect, man. I got my first job from Casual's little sister, or younger sister. She gave me a job designing her cupcake shop, so that should be open in a couple months. And then I like building cribs. I want to build an ill fortress for Hiero, like some crazy mountain, like Legion of Doom. You know what I'm saying? They'll like fly in, fucking take a boat out. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy stuff. So I'm into that. I was into real estate during the bubble, but I lost my ass in that shit, man. I mean, hip hop saving my life again, you know?
Yeah,
so
word.
it's cool to design and build. It's like making beats or writing raps.
Talk to me about Vampire Weekend. They released a song called Step, which has it draws influences from your very, very early song, Step to My Girl. How did you feel about them referencing your song like that?
That's incredible, dude, because, I mean, it's great when people in other genres, like, you can inspire them too.
Yeah.
Because I think people think about hip hop, especially this new generation. I hate to sound like an old guy. Like, I didn't grow up on hip hop. Nobody in my generation grew up on hip hop. Wasn't any hip hop.
Didn't exist.
You know what I'm saying? Though you listen to jazz records and funk records and soul records and rock records, and then you made hip hop out of that. So it's cool to see it go the other way. Like, that's ill to me. Instead of them just like singing over a beat that we made or something, they made something new. And hopefully we'll be able to collaborate with them cats soon. I mean,
that'd be a huge
that
collaboration.
was my first introduction to them, and they're dope. Like, I heard their music, I'm like, wow, this shit is great.
Talking about collaborations, let's talk about the new album. You collaborated with composer and producer Adrian Young. And for those that don't know, Adrian Young just put out a sick album with Ghostface Killer called 12 Reasons to Die. Sick conceptual album. And also, correct me if I'm wrong, but is your album narrated by a Tribe Called Quest's Ali Shaheed Muhammad?
Yeah, Shaheed's on there. There's some other people on there too.
Wow. So is it a conceptual album?
Complete conceptual album.
Okay, tell me about the new album.
It's called There's Only Now, and it's based out of an incident that went down in 94 or 93, and we just went left with it. All original music. It sounds like samples, just like how 12 Ways to Die sounds like a Wu-Tang record, you know?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
But it's all original music. That dude, Adrian Young, is changing hip hop, because the whole thing is, with the sample clearances and paying for samples, it made people get away from that. And then now you got keyboard beats and computer beats, or all chopped up beats, you know? Like, and there's space for all that, but he's taking it back to the era of like smooth, jazzy samples, crazy classical stuff. So it's like a renaissance of that era, but it's all original. So it's new music, which is, that shit hasn't even happened in hip hop yet, except for maybe the Roots, you know?
Right.
Like, or Stetsasonic, but very, very few people, you know?
And for the narration, did it come down to Morgan Freeman and Ali Shaheed Muhammad? Was
It actually did.
Yeah, really?
The guy that did Morgan Freeman was gonna do it. And then Shaheed, you know,
got double booked. Couldn't make
Big Brother. Yeah, you know, he had stuff to do. He had to play God and do some other stuff.
It's funny that you get Shaheed Muhammad, who's never been the voice box of a Tribe Called Quest at all, to be the narrator of your new album.
It's awesome though, dude. Like, you got, like, Shaheed was the brains too, though. You know, like, we've been on tour with these guys. Like, he seems quiet, but he has a lot on he's like a smoldering fire. You know, there's a lot going on in his head, and especially with the concepts of music and direction and all that kind of stuff. So him getting on a record, it's like, hate to sound cliche, but like full circle. Like the guy who brought us out first on our first major tour, now being on what's probably going to be our biggest album, is like incredible.
And when does it drop? When does it drop?
It's supposed to be October 26th, but
it's
the industry, you know.
Yeah.
Depends on if we finish these titles tonight.
Yeah. Cool. When I posted on Twitter that I'd be interviewing Souls of Mischief tonight, a lot of people wanted me to ask about Extra Prolific. And for those that don't know, Extra Prolific was another subgroup in Hieroglyphics, just like Souls of Mischief back in the early 90s. But we haven't really heard from Extra Prolific in ages. What's up with Extra P?
I think he raps under the name Lee Majors, and he's like a Christian rapper now. So he does his own thing, man, you know. But everybody else, personnel is exactly the same. He just went in a different direction. But more power to the brother, you know, like he's on some positive shit, so I can't be mad at that.
Well, God bless.
Yeah, I was like, yes, sir.
Now, before we get out of here, one question that I like to ask anybody that I interview is, of course, that the name of the blog is Spliff Breaks. How does Tajai enjoy a Spliff Break when he gets around to it?
You know what? I'm gonna give you my secret. And I'm on camera, I shouldn't even be saying this because the kids are watching. I smoke weed 6 months, I don't smoke weed 6 months. You feel what I'm saying? So, hopefully I'll be able to quit for good. I've done that, the longest I've quit is 5 years. You know, I've been burning since I was 9. So, long fucking time, 30 years almost. But all the people that I know who are older, who just burnt herb their whole life are fucking bananas out of their minds crazy. Whack jobs, nutcases. You feel what I'm saying? Who just burnt herb. They're all from the 60s and shit. They probably did some acid a long time ago. But just really, they just cheap herb. They don't even cheap strong herb, just like weak herb. You know? So take breaks. That's all I'm saying. Don't fry your fucking brain out. And getting to my age now, I can't even remember where my hotel is right now. You feel what I'm saying? And it's down the street. So take breaks. That's my secret to Spliff Break. And you know what? Break your weed down really, really well. Use a grinder. Don't, that chunky shit, you're not gonna get, you know what I'm saying though? You're not gonna get the enjoyment that you would have if you took the time and broke your weed down really well.
Keeps going out and shit.
Yeah, and it's just like, you're not trying to smoke butane, you're trying to smoke lamb's bread, you feel what I'm saying though? So just make sure you break the weed down. And that's in life with everything. Break the shit down real fine and then enjoy it. Don't just take it in chunks.
That might be the best fucking answer I've ever had to that question ever. That was awesome. That was very in-depth. Take note, kids.
But I don't smoke.
Now.
This is what I hear right now.
A couple months.
In a few months. I got 5 months. I just stopped. I stop every Ramadan.
Tajai, thank you so much for your time with us,
appreciate it, man. One love,
really appreciate it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Have a great time tonight and enjoy the rest of your tour.
Y'all
and
too, man.
I hope you have another 20 years of success. Really, I do.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
I'm trying to take it to the next level. I think the good thing about your brain is, that's what I'm saying, take care of your brain.
Yeah.
It's not like your knees go out or your back goes out. You get better and smarter with time.
Right.
So take care of your brain and you can have a long-ass career, you know?
Absolutely. Tajai, Souls of Mischief, Hieroglyphics, Spliff Breaks, Pud's brand. We're coming at you. Peace.
This is how we chill from 93 till. 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 This is how we chill from 93 until. This is how we chill from.
Welcome back to Vancouver. How many times have you been to our city?
Tens and tens and tens. A
Yeah.
lot.
Welcome
One
back.
of our favorite cities to come to
Word.
on earth.